Well, hello, everyone. Welcome in. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. My name's Doug Frost. I'm the president of BUSA, the Best USA Sommelier of the Americas of the USA. Thank you. And obviously, very keen to welcome you in today. I think this is going to be a wonderful contest, and we're very excited, obviously, that ASI chose to have the Best Sommelier of the Americas contest here. So thank you all very much for being here. I would like to turn the floor immediately over to the president of ASI, William Wouters.
Thank you very much, Doug. Thank you. Okay. So a big hand of applause first, again, for Doug and everybody from BUSA is here. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you. I want to thank our partners also who are here. Without the partners, we cannot do all the events we're doing. We cannot do the guidelines, we cannot do the boot camps, we cannot make everything work online and stuff, you know. So thank you very much for our partners. Big applause also, please. And then a word of thank also to the competitors here, you know. For those who are not in the semi-final, congratulations to be here. To be here is already a big achievement, you know. Thank you. And the 6 semi-finalists, they had a very tough but a very fair competition yesterday, so we'll see later on who's going to be in the finals. So I want a big hand of applause for them too, please. And now I will hand over the word to the master of ceremony today, Andreas Larsson, Best Sommelier of the World in 2007. Please.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, William. It's a pleasure being here. I'm eager now. You know, as a candidate, when you prepare well, you're not really stressed. Well, some of you are probably. But now I'm so eager to see the fight on stage. This is deadly serious. We're here to have fun. And to start off this is the 7th edition of the Best Sommelier of the Americas. We had 14 candidates from 14 American countries competing in 3 different languages. As you know, you're not allowed to compete in your mother tongue, so we don't know. We'll see when we know the finalists, which languages we will see today, if anyone wonders, but I think most of you already know this. And I think we should start to ask the most important people to come to the stage. Please, all candidates on stage. And I will also, all candidates on stage, please. I will also ask the presidents, there's a lot of presidents here, the co-presidents of the competition committee to join us on stage, Olivier Poussier and Shinya Tasaki. Now is a good moment for photographers. And I will, you can take a step forward when I call your country. We will introduce them by country in alphabetical order. Argentina. Brazil. Canada. Chile. Colombia. Dominican Republic. Ecuador. Mexico. Panama. Paraguay. Peru. United States of America. Uruguay. And last but not least, Venezuela. Well, you were quick to run off the stage. I would like the semi-finalists back on stage, please. I think you have seen this before. This is sometimes mean, but always kind of entertaining part of it. We will actually give number 6, 5, and 4 their positions. And the 3 remaining on stage will be the finalists. So I will let Shinya or Olivier give us the position of the semi-finalists not reaching the final. So when you hear the name, you leave the stage and enjoy the show.
So the ranking presented, starting with 6th position. No.
No one said it.
Not number 6, not number 6. So, first, 6th position, Jerónimo Tejarini, Uruguay. Bravo. Photo. Oh, center. Center. Next, 5th position, Joseph Ruiz Acosta, Peru.
Drum roll, everyone. This is fun to, extend this for half a minute. Sorry.
So I recall 4th position. Game Renault, Ecuador.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need more. 3 finalists. And these gentlemen are, of course, Mark Guillaudeu from the United States, Nicolas Reines from Bogota, I want to say, from Colombia. You're from Bogota as well. And Joris Garcia from Canada. So to be fair to everyone, you will draw a number. So the numbers drawn now, it's not about who's winning or not. It's about who's starting on stage. So the candidates are now going to the technical room. And while we set up the candidates, I think we should leave the words to Evan Goldstein.
for Best Sommelier of Europe, Africa and Middle East 2024 here in Serbia, Belgrado, is Mike Patter.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome from our version of the red carpet here at the ASI Finals of the Best Sommelier of the Americas. I am here with Tadeusz Kwacz, who is the manager of Perlage water from Poland. Delighted to have you with us. And I wanted to ask you, with the rise of low consumption, moderate consumption, no alcohol consumption, increasingly water is going to play a more important role of what's going on. How can we make this part of the experience, more integral, more important, both from an importance of beverage, but also an importance of revenue, and what role can sommeliers play in helping this out?
So you have the same goal, in fact, so it's not an alternative with the water, with the fine water. Of course, we all talk about the healthy lifestyle, so it means even water as a partner for a wine, as an alliance with a fine wine, we are working together. So there is no alternative. There is cooperation everywhere, also for the restaurants, for the HoReCa.
And Tadeusz, what role, it's sort of like an unsung hero, you know, it's there, we know it, but what role can premium water play in the experience, both from the perspective of the sommelier, but also from the perspective of the diner?
So we would like to go to the top. So we strive for the peak experiences, and like the fine wine, the fine water, we play the same role. In fact.
Let me ask you an important question. This is for all my friends out there who are sommeliers. In sommelierie, we talk about grapes and wines, and we talk about terroir a lot. Is there terroir in water?
Water is part of terroir. So in fact, in winemaking, you talk only about the place of origin. In water, we have in our sources, we have as a first important element is soil. So with the soil, you have all the elements. You have the less clay soil at the beginning, filtering the water. Then you have the deep rocks where the water is collecting all the minerals. So in fact, at the end, the final product, the fine water, it's element of the soil. In the case of winemaking, vineyard, soil is the carrier for all the nutrition and so on. So same role. Soil is partner for the vineyard, like a climate, like a temperature, and so on. And soil is element of the terroir, right?
Okay, great. Finally, Perlage has taken a very strong position in ASI, certainly at these particular finals, here for the best finals of the Sommelier of the Americas, but also for ASI in general. What is your premium partnership, platinum partnership? How is that important for you?
So in Poland, we are partners with sommeliers for many, many years, partners and friends. So this is just a consequence of the first step we did in Poland. We are #1 in fine water in Poland, competing with the big companies like Danone, Nestle, and so on. This is just a consequence. We go worldwide. We would like to have a worldwide partner, and we also admire your position worldwide. Means the sommeliers, as not only as an organization, but also as a community, sharing the same values, the same strategy. So this is just natural consequence of the partnership.
You heard it from Tadeusz. It is about community, it is about partnership, and it is about excellence. Back to you.
So I think we're almost ready for the first candidate, but it wouldn't be a competition without an eminent jury. So let me introduce these ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the eminent jury, we have, at this table, we have Shinya Tasaki, Best Sommelier of the World 1995 from Japan. President of the ASI, William Wouters from Portugal today, rather, Belgium, both. We have Serge Dubs, Best Sommelier of the World 1989 from France. We have Véronique Révé, Best Sommelier of the Americas 2012. We have the Vice President of the Americas, Matias Precioso. From Argentina, Paz Levinson, Best Sommelier of the Americas 2015. And you have to stand up. From Finland, Heidi Mäkinen, Master of Wine. Olivier Poussier, Best Sommelier of the World 2000 from France. And I didn't forget you, young man. The current Best Sommelier of the World 2023, Raymond Thompson's Latvia. So a big hand for the first candidate, Nicolas Reines, Colombia.
Guessing this way or that way.
Be careful now. You see, we have marked the edges of stage. We don't want any candidates to succumb to any serious accidents tonight, will we? So you pay attention. It's a bit tight, but this is, of course, your restaurant.
Okay.
And you have to deal with it, and I will simply give you some instructions.
Lovely.
You know the drill?
Most of it. Yes, I know the drill.
To start with, congratulations for being on stage. How are you feeling?
Thank you very much. Very good.
Yeah. Did you have a fun week?
I had a very fun week. That was the most important part.
Okay, let's start over here. This table is ready to order aperitif. Please take their order and serve them. You will have 6 minutes for this task.
Repeat, please.
I will repeat once, and then time will start.
Perfect.
Time is ready over there. This table is ready to order aperitif. Please take their order and serve them. You have 6 minutes, starting now.
Everybody, hello. My name is Nicolas. I'll be your sommelier tonight. Are you ready for some aperitifs?
Yes, we will both have a glass of champagne, please.
Lovely. And for you, lady?
Oh, and since you have champagne open, I would love to have a Bellini, please.
A Bellini. Perfect. I'll be right back with you. Lovely. So we're going to start with a Bellini. Bellini is a very classic, beautiful cocktail with basically peach puree, a little bit of sugar on top that I'm going to kind of punch down, and sparkling. For the Bellini, I'm going to be using a Prosecco, because the Prosecco will give it a little bit more freshness, a little bit more fruitiness. So I'll be using a Prosecco for the Bellini. Meanwhile, I'll serve the champagne. I'm going to just pour it down out here like a little bit so we can have the puree kind of smoothen up and we don't lose all the gas of the Prosecco. So I'm going to finish here. Whoa, a bit too much. That's going to be good. There we go. And now, just a little perfume of lime that I like. Take this out, and I'm going to fish with a little bit of Prosecco on top. Lovely. Lady, here's your Prosecco. Guys, we're going to be doing a Drapier Champagne Brut. This is a very nice, balanced champagne, of course, Champagne region, France, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, Chardonnay, sparkling, well, champagne, of course, and well, it's a beautiful choice for to start. So I know you're working by the glass, but I'd like you to see the cork either way. Is it okay? Lovely. Good. After aperitifs, I would like to recommend you to start with a pâté that we have that is beautiful on some rice crackers. And we have a beautiful olive oil from Argentina, from Arbequina. That'll be lovely to start with as aperitifs, so you can enjoy it a little bit later. So thank you very much. Enjoy. Anything you need, I'll be here with you.
Thank you.
Well, you
You're
seem
good?
happy.
I am.
Next table over here. Could you please serve a bottle of Santenay 1969 to these 4 guests? You will have 8 minutes for this.
Good. Can you repeat, please?
Yes. Please serve a bottle of Santenay 1969 to these 4 guests. You have 8 minutes. Sorry, to make sure, I think I said 6. You have 8 minutes for this. I repeat once more because...
Please.
It's too dark here. It's not my eyesight. So, 3rd time now. Please serve a bottle of 1969 Santenay to these 4 guests. You have 8 minutes, starting now.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, good evening. My name is Nicolas. I'll be your sommelier tonight. They told me that you're going to have a beautiful bottle of Santenay 1969. Is that right? Lovely. So I'll be right back with you guys. Put it here. Who will be trying the wine tonight? Lovely. So, monsieur. Santené, 1969. This is a Premier Cru Guillaudeu Base de Thon. 1969 is beautiful vintage. This is going to be a beautiful bottle. If you allow me, I'll give it a decantation. Shouldn't have so many sediments. That's why we didn't bring it in a basket. Being a Pinot, I know it's been a long time, but probably it will be beautiful with it. We're going to use a kind of a different corkscrew, and either way, we're going to decant it with a light just in case. But basically, we're going to check if it has some sediments in it. Hopefully, the cork is in a fairly good state. Although the cork doesn't speak too much. I mean, you can have wines that are with a cork that is really, really messy, or with a very good cork, and it always depends on the liquid. So we're going to see how this works. So we'll be using this laminated corkscrew to just make sure the cork is not stuck to the glass. And yeah, the cork is really, really interesting, quite wet. Don't worry, we'll see if it's in the right condition after this. I still had a little bit cork in it, so I'll be filtering it 1 second. Yeah, I was hoping I didn't need to use this, but we're going to use it either way. From the light, I can see beautiful color. It's going to be an amazing Pinot. Sediments are not there. A little bit. There we go. I'm going to check them either way. It's good. If you allow me, I'll try the wine. Yeah, it's beautiful wine, aged, showing a lot of maturity, a lot of red fruits, but still a lot of nuts, almonds. Is it okay? Lovely. Please enjoy it. This is amazing. It's not every day that we open this kind of bottles, so it's going to be a beautiful experience. Would you like me to keep the bottle on the table? This is beautiful for Instagram, at least. No, don't worry. I leave this here. Sorry. I'm going to leave this over here. I'll take this away. So please enjoy it. This would go amazing with some semi-cured cheese like Tilsit, a little bit smoky, but not too much. Or once again, we have a pâté crostini, which will go very, very good with this. I'm sure I'll try to make the pianist play some Dvorak, the Ninth Symphony, because it's going to give you the whole bump of this wine that I know you're going to enjoy. Please enjoy it. That's good.
Thank you very much. have a glass of water before your next task.
I will.
We spoke about the importance of water.
Yes. I'm going to clean up my mess.
Ready? So, very simple instruction. Please make a full organoleptic tasting of this wine. You have 4 minutes.
Good. Great. We have in front of us a white wine with no sediments, no carbonic gas, medium plus density, very low legs. This is a gold deep color in the core and watery rims also with these little gold hues. It's a beautiful color. It seems like it has quite some aging. So we're going to check it on the nose and on the palate. In the nose, it's clean, has no fault. It's very intense. There is this botrytis thing coming up, like kind of this fungus, champignon style, typical of the botrytis. It is that fungus, that earthiness, with a little bit of those lime citrus, apricots, a lot of honey, a little bit of lime zest too, and some almonds and some nuts, which confirms a little bit on the nose what I see on the eyes about the aging. It's very complex, and it's a beautiful fresh nose. In the palate, it's a luscious wine, very sweet, with a very good balanced fresh acidity. It confirms on the nose and the palate you have this botrytis filling, this honey pot, this honeydew, mostly almonds, nuts, orange zest. Beautiful on the mouth. Acidity is medium plus, very refreshing, very crisp. Alcohol level is medium plus, also very integrated, but you can almost feel it. Of course, no tannins, no bubbles. It's a very long finished wine. I can still feel it. I can still feel that honey, those apricots in the end. For me, this is a hot climate botrytis, perhaps is a Barsac. This is from the left bank of Bordeaux on the south, in the region of Barsac. It has the freshness, doesn't have the elegance of a Sauternes. I think it's a Barsac, which is very interesting. For me, this is a 2000 and perhaps 9 vintage. It has that aging that I was talking about. I would serve this chilled 8, 10, not too much cold, 10 degrees Celsius in white wine glasses. Perhaps if we want to share it in a meal, I would aerate this a little bit in a small decanter, put it in an ice bucket so we can keep the temperature. And this will go very well with its typical pairing, which is the foie. Or I would love for you to have this with a dish that I love, that was like a nigiri with foie gras, the seaweed, and a little bit of tire d'érable that we had in Canada a couple of years ago. And if you're not into foie pâté, which I've mentioned like 3 times today, this would go also very well with very matured cheeses. I would love to recommend you a Briojo, which is a Colombian cheese from a region called Santander. And this is a very camembert style, but with this Colombian touch that will go very, very good. And definitely this needs something fresh and something sweet for it. Another option would be a tarte au tatin. That will go very, very good. As I said, it's an amazing wine, very complex.
Thank you.
That was good. That was really good.
Maybe you face this table. So, for the next task, a group of clients would like you to suggest a 4-course menu to highlight a selection of wines which they have arranged in 4 flights. Could you please check the wine flights and suggest a menu with 1 dish for each wine flight? You will have 6 minutes for this.
Okay.
I will repeat. You look worried.
Yeah. I'm not.
These clients, they would like you to suggest a 4-course menu to highlight a selection of wines they have arranged in 4 flights. So could you please check the flights and suggest a menu with 1 dish for each flight of wines? You have 6 minutes for this.
Thank you very much. Well, good evening again. You have beautiful wines in this selection, so I'm going to make some really good suggestions for this. We have to start with Riccitelli Old Vine Semillon Rio Negro. First of all, Riccitelli, an amazing winemaker. He's made great Malbec, and this Semillon from the south of Argentina is amazing. The Tirel Vat #1 Semillon Hunter Valley 2018. It's beautiful also. And the La Reida Capco Jurançon is very interesting. For this flight, I'm going to suggest you a salmon tartare with sesame oil. We're going to put some cilantro in it. I know it sounds strange. Cilantro and Semillon has a very nice thing going on where this dryness of the Semillon, especially the one from Rio Negro and the one from Hunter Valley, is going to go very, very good with a little bit, just a little bit of cilantro. It's going to be very good. For the second flight, the Feudo di Mezzo, the Etna Rosso, the Pinot Noir from Eola Admit Hills, and the Quinta Noval Reserva, I'm going to go with something that's a little bit fresh. It's a rabbit, and we're going to have a rabbit with a jasmine rice, so very aromatic rice, and this rabbit with a little bit of a jus de lapin, which is going to be very elegant and will go very, very good with this metallic senses of the Etna Rosso and the freshness of the Pinot Noir. For the third one, where you have a Sinsol out of Swartland in South Africa, a Terrazas de los Andes Grand Malbec, which is a beautiful, big, but very sweet tannin wine, and the General Manier Cave de Reserve Syrah, where they're going to have a lot of things going on. We need something a little bit bigger. I'm going to suggest a Cordero Patagonico, which is kind of gamey, but very elegant, one of the most important corderos of the world, with a risotto alla milanese, so a little bit of saffron to bring up the spiciness on those three wines, and the tannins and the big structure of those will go very, very good with the creaminess of the risotto. And for the last time, we have the Sudirat, Eitokagi Asu, and Roasted Ausbruch, all those sweet out of Germany, Hungary, and of course Bordeaux. I'm going to go again with the Tarte Tatin. I love this apple pie sort of thing that you turn around. But I'm going to go with the whipped cream that is very smooth, very elegant, not too sweet. And we're going to flavorize it with vanilla pods out of El Chocó in Colombia. It's a new producers of vanilla, which is very elegant. I know you don't know it too much. We get that product here, and I'm sure that dessert is going to be very, very good. On top of that, for those after those flights and after this beautiful menu, I would love for you to have some very cool fresh citric coffee out of El Huila, Colombia, that we're going to make in a Chemex way. So you're going to have something beautiful to finish. And after that, we'll see if you have time. I can suggest a cigar or something else. But I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. There are a lot of beautiful wines from all over the world. And just let me know if you're allergic to something or you have any dietary restrictions so we can change my recommendations into your needs. Lovely. Have a great dinner.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Maybe you want to keep this as a souvenir?
Yes.
Next time you lack IDs at home when you're cooking.
That'll be fun.
So it's another tasting task coming up. Drink some water if you want to. Or
yep.
Have a deep breath. What's the first thing you're going to drink when this competition is over?
Probably a beer.
Probably a beer, okay.
Yeah. I need something refreshing. Good.
Okay, ready?
We're ready.
Now, please identify these two wines and describe the aging potential for both. You will have 5 minutes for this.
Can you repeat again, please?
I will repeat once.
Yes.
Please identify these two wines and describe the aging potential for both of them. You have 5 minutes.
Good. Okay, wine number one for me is a Semillon from South Africa. It's a Swartland Semillon. This is perhaps a 2019, 2020 vintage. And the aging potential of this wine, I would say, is about 5 to 8 years more than this. Has a beautiful acidity, freshness, but the profile flavors are a little bit more nutty, more almondy, and I think those favorite profiles with aging would go very, very well. I would drink it now. It's very fresh. It's very interesting right now. But it will age for me perhaps another 8 years with no problem. Second one for me. It's an oaked Chardonnay from Napa. A lot of oakness in the nose, oakness in the palate. Has a very good freshness. It's very, very young. I'll say this is a 2018 vintage. I think this will age well for another 5 years. I won't hold it too much. because the pineapple and the freshness of the fruits are beautiful right now. I think it has already a little bit of aging, so I wouldn't weight this one that much. But I think, yeah, 5 years would be good for this one. Has a beautiful nose. At this point, I'm just enjoying the wines. Yeah, I'm happy with my answers. We're good.
Thank you very much. Don't look at me like you, am I done now? There's one more thing coming up now.
Lovely. Ooh, a lot of glasses, like that.
More is more. I will explain to you meanwhile. Now we would like you to identify these 10 beverages and create 5 logical pairs. You will have 7 minutes for this, and I will repeat again.
Please.
We would like you to identify all 10 beverages and then create 5 logical pairs. Okay.
Good.
7 minutes.
Whoa. Okay. First one is a rum. It's a cane-based spirit. This is a rum. Sorry. This is a grape-based spirit. This is a cognac. This is a VS cognac. Number 2 is a grape-based spirit. This is a pisco, perhaps a quebranta out of Peru. Number 3, it's a beautiful apple-based spirit, perhaps some pears in it. This is a Calvados. I would say this is a 3 or 4 years of aging. I would pair this with a very mature cheese from the Normandy. That will go very, very good. Number 4, it's beer. It's an IPA, very strong, very, very intense. I would pair this with some regional chicken wings with a little bit of spice in it. Number 5 is a vermouth. Number 5 is a Madeira. Number 6 is a cider out of apples. Number 7 is a sweet, sparkling wine. Number 8. This is an oloroso sherry. González Villas, perhaps. This will go very good with a paella. Why not? With a lot of olives in it. Number 9 is whiskey. Grain-based, perhaps Ireland. Young, I would say it's Jameson. Number 10. Number 10 is another rum, perhaps from the French in the Guyanas. This is an old aged rum. I would pair this with also something very Colombian, a couple of chicharron on guacamole style of thing. The alcohol is really in it. And I think that's it. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to pair the pisco. I think it's a Mosto Verde out of Viñas de Oro. I would say this would go very good with a scallop ceviche with a little bit of spice in it, or you can make it into a cocktail, into a very beautiful pisco sour with some angostura on top of it. Cider. Number 7, I'm going to say it's a sparkling wine. It's a demi-sec or doux. I would say this is a it's a crément d'Alsace doux. And I'm going to change the last one, 10. This is not a rum, this is an Armagnac. I'll keep the pairing though. Divino. Told you I have a beer.
Were you happy?
Yeah, I told you I had a beer. Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you very much. You're free to leave the stage for this time. We'll see you later. And I think we give a big hand to Nicolas Reines.
Thank you, guys.
And I think we will leave the word to Mr. Ivan Goldstein.
Aqui, verdes não são cor nem grau de maturidade. Aqui, verdes são uma denominação de origem protegida, uma região demarcada desde 1908. Aqui, verdes representam uma das mais antigas e notáveis regiões vitivinícolas do mundo, que se estende da orla do Atlântico a todo o noroeste de Portugal continental. Aqui, verdes são uma família de vinhos, unida pela sua identidade, diversa pela sua riqueza de perfis sensoriais. E como são os verdes? São ricos na expressão da genialidade de cada um dos 16.000 viticultores que trabalham, centímetro a centímetro, 16.000 hectares de vinha. Que conhecem como ninguém as 45 castas autorizadas para a produção de vinhos com denominação de origem vinho verde e 67 para vinhos regional Minho. São ricos. Ou não fosse a região um território com profundas raízes na história de Portugal. Território de policultura, onde a vinha anda de braço dado com o milho, o feijão, a batata, a criação de gado, o prado e os pomares. Onde a condução da vinha preserva a tradição etnográfica, marcando paisagem com a latada, os arjões, o enforcado ou a bordadura utilizada na delimitação de propriedades. Rica em rios e afluentes, em cidades e vilas históricas, desdobrando-se em 9 sub-regiões, cada uma com o seu terroir, cada uma afirmando castas nativas que são bandeira de Portugal, com alvarinho e loureiro à cabeça, dando cartas com arinto, trajadura, azal e avesso, afirmando tintas que, com vigor, trilham caminho, como vinhão e espadeiro, borraçal, alvarilhão ou amaral. E como são os verdes? São ricos. Ou não fossem as diferenças climáticas e de orografia significativas, numa região onde a vinha se alimenta maioritariamente da profundidade de solos graníticos, mas também na excentricidade de 2 faixas schistosas que lhe trazem a dificuldade de acesso à água e nutrientes. Ou não fosse capacidade e sabedoria de uma região que soube fazer das suas castas nativas rainhas de Portugal. Quem nunca se perdeu de amores por vinhos verdes monocasta ou luteados de diferentes parcelas e terroirs, de vinhas novas ou velhas, com estágio em barrica ou em inox? São ricos na expressão de cores, aromas, sabores, na expressão de estilos, espantando quem se habituou a ver os verdes como um universo de grandes brancos, conquistando cada vez mais com os seus rosés, espumantes, tintos e aguardentes vínicas, mostrando que os seus brancos são muito mais que aromas ricos, frutados e florais. São muito mais que cores palha ou cítricas, percorrendo também gradações de dourado, do mais vivo ao mais aveludado, revelando perfis mais redondos, mais gordos, mais persistentes, afirmando-se como vinhos que elegantemente sabem como e podem envelhecer. E como são os verdes? São como nós, perfeitos pela diversidade, únicos pela personalidade e identidade.
We're back here in the green room, actually. The floor is green here. So we say red carpets are red in these types of things. It's green in part because I am joined by Mario Mata, who is with the demarcated subzone of Vinhos Verdes in the north of Portugal. Let's be honest, everybody here in this room, sommeliers and non-sommeliers alike, are wine geeks. And with all of the work that's been done in Vinhos Verdes today to better understand the characteristics, the terroirs, the individual varieties, etc., what specific characteristics and what do you think are some of the most exciting things that sommeliers today should be aware of with respect to developments in the wine?
The demarcated region, I think that the first thing we really should do is like to look at it as a region, and as any other region in the world, it's a place where we can make different styles of wine, different profiles, and so by associating Vinhos Verdes just a style, I think it's like unfair. And so if we can open the span for what the Vinhos Verdes it's given, we can go much more now for the grape varieties that are being grown in the different subregions, native grape varieties. So in the past, it was much easier to associate Vinhos Verdes with what Alvarinho could give us. But now if we look, we have 45 different DO grape varieties allowed. So if we go to Basto, we will have different ones. If we go to Bayang, if we go to Lima. And I guess that is the most, or one of the most interesting parts of what the region is giving. It's different grape varieties, different profiles, different styles, and altogether they are creating this new wave of Vinhos Verdes that, of course, people are really curious to know about.
That's awesome. And I think what's interesting is that so many people historically have associated Vinhos Verdes with a fairly simple carbonated wine that's not interesting. Yes, frizzante, but maybe not that. But today, and as people have tasted all week through the different offerings that you've had, we have more structured, better wines, more elegance, wood aging, lees contact, all of these sorts of things, making age-worthy and, again, single variety wines. How do you see all of these developments as shaping the reputation of the appellation?
That's true. Fortunately for us, we are bringing more and more of these wines to the activations, to the events, to the tastings where we are participating. We need to be very thankful to the pioneers of this movement since the 80s, that we have people that believe that the region could give much more than what it was giving. We also need to be thankful for this project that started 20 years ago with our marketing department, with the CVRVV supporting this belief, this idea, and nowadays, 20 years after, we can see that the quality is here to stay and also to grow, and this is part of the future of the region. So the part of the future of the region is to bring always more quality. I wouldn't say premium, because premium might be a little bit like limited word to say, but these kind of wines that we tasted here, we brought 23 different wines, and all of these 23 could get a very nice surprise to all of these people.
Absolutely, and you talk about different styles of wines, from Assal to Avesso to Zuzão to Vinhal to everything. We have this today. When did this whole movement towards single variety, monocasta wines start in your area?
Well, it started with Alvarinho, because Alvarinho, as we all know, it's a grape variety with a lot of potential. We can age it, and actually that's one of the most interesting aspects of the region now. So to try to look for aged Alvarinho to see how they evolve, how they get after 10, 15 years. But then I guess that the whole region started to feel that it shouldn't only happen in Monsanto and Melgaço, because I'm in another different sub-region, but I also have my grapes that I want to give value, and I think that if I can create a known profile with like a very particular style, I can make it. So I guess that all the other sub-regions started to feel that they could create something relevant with what they were growing. Avesso in Bryan, Loureiro in Lima, Azal in Basto or Amarante, and so we are living these days where everyone wants to show a bit of what is creating.
Awesome. So my last question for you would be, you've been with us all week, you've been with the sommeliers all week, there are people here from all over Latin America. Quick lightning round. I'm going to give you 3 dishes. Tell me the Vinho Verde you think works best. Okay. So first, Peruvian ceviche.
Loureiro from Lima. For sure.
Loureiro from Lima. All right. If I were to give you Mexican carne asada tacos, where would you go with that?
Well, carne asada, so roasted beef, I would say Alvarinho. If it can be like 5 years old, it would be nice to cut the grass, and so we can feel the evolution. Yeah.
Great. And now you're here in my home country. Good old American macaroni and cheese. What would you do there?
Well, an Avesso is perfect for that. The freshness, it's very nice, yes.
What if I put lobster in it?
I would maybe change it to a sparkling.
Good call. And last but not least, because I am such a fan, if I am going to Vinhão, what would you do?
Vinhão, it's tricky. But then you need to...
Okay, that was just for me. We're going to take it now to a video for a little bit more about Portugal.
To drink a Portuguese wine is to embark on a journey. It is traversing landscapes that capture the soul. It is tasting wines that are born from tradition, that sprout from the land, from the sand, from stone. It is twirling in forests, feeling the breeze of the Atlantic. Strolling through centuries-old vineyards, immersing yourself in unique terroirs. It is hearing the music that comes from all these aromas. It is exploring the tradition of the old world country that discovered new worlds. It is discovering worlds in the more than 250 Portuguese grape varieties. It is conquering 14 winemaking regions. It is imagining that, behind a castle or a palace, there are luxurious reds, vibrant and balanced whites. Porto, Madeira, Moscatel from Setúbal, Carcavelos, a wealth of history. It is knowing those who, for generations, have honored tradition and embraced modernity. men and women alike. It is feeling, tasting, discovering, conquering, honoring and toasting to a world of differences. To drink a Portuguese wine is to embark on this journey. Are you ready to go?
I think we have a candidate coming to the stage very soon, ladies and gentlemen. So we are getting ready to welcome another candidate to the stage. Don't be shy. This is not a funeral. Big hands when the candidate is... Here he is.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Did you enjoy the week?
Amazing week, thank you.
Wonderful. First of all, I want to give you some advice of caution because this is a quite narrow stage, particularly for big guys like you and me. So you have some signs, so we don't want you to fall off or any candidates calling 9/11 or anything. This is your small and cozy restaurant, and I will give you some instructions what you have to do tonight.
Great.
If you want to drink a glass of water before you start, please go ahead. Please feel free.
Thank you.
So we start over here. This table is ready to order aperitif. Please take their order and serve them. You have 6 minutes.
Amazing. So, hi, my name is Joris. What can I get you to start?
We will both have a glass of champagne.
Perfect,
please.
with pleasure.
And since you have champagne open, I would love a Bellini, please.
With pleasure, perfect. I'll be right back. So 2 glasses of champagne and a Bellini. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So I am so sorry. I think we just ran out of pear puree, and I don't see any other fruit puree. Is there anything else I could get you, or maybe another cocktail made with champagne?
Whatever a Bellini is without.
Sure.
puree.
Perfect. And so I see you already have beautiful Perlage still and sparkling water. There we go. Perfect, delicious. Amazing. Ah, sorry. Amazing, great. And so I'm gonna start off with, there we go, a little 1 ounce of this beautiful puree. There we go. And so I'm gonna stir it in the glass very quickly just to dilute it a little bit. There we go, like this. Amazing. And so I'm gonna top it off with a beautiful Prosecco based on Glera. So we go for, et voilà, 3 ounces. Amazing. Sorry about this. There we go. And so, for you, the Bellini. Great. And for you, right over here, Champagne Drapier Carte d'Or Brut from Champagne, based on Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So to go with those beautiful sparkling wines, I recommend some fresh and delicate amuse-bouche. We could go with beautiful crab cake with orange and a peach marmalade. I think it would be lovely. The minerality would enhance the minerality of the champagne, and the food is going to match the food of this Champagne Drapier, and also the Bellini. If you're like me and you like charcuterie and cold cuts, we have a beautiful Jamón Bellota from Spain, 36 months aged. The beautiful fattiness and richness of the jamón with crisp and fresh acidity is going to do a wonderful match. Beautiful. And if you'd like any other recommendations, don't hesitate. I'm going to be here with you. I'm just going to clean up my stations really quickly for the little mess I made. Amazing. And so we already had this beautiful aperitif. Would you like maybe a food recommendation or maybe a wine recommendation for later on? As you wish. Beautiful. So after this, we could go with a beautiful scallop appetizer. We are known for our beautiful scallops. So pan-seared scallops from East Coast, pan-seared on one side. We're going to serve it with a fennel puree as a beautiful appetizer with a sweet lemon confit sauce. That would be really, really lovely. If you wanted to start with something vegetarian also, we have beautiful beet salad that we serve with some walnuts and goat cheese with some fresh herbs. We could continue with a beautiful white wine to go along with this. I'm thinking of a beautiful Sauvignon Blanc from Loire Valley on a fresh vintage like François Cotasserie 2021. But then if you want to continue with the main, it would be a pleasure for me also to do. I'm here for you just in case. Hope the Bellini and the champagne is to your liking. And yes, maybe, I don't know. We can continue with the main course recommendation. I just started with the appetizer. So here, thank you.
Thank you very much. Now let's move over to these civilized gentlemen. Could you please serve a bottle of Centenaire 1969 to these guests? You will have 8 minutes for this.
Could you
I will
please
repeat.
Thank you so much.
Once. Could you please serve a bottle of Centenaire 1969 to these 4 guests? You have 8 minutes starting now.
Perfect, with pleasure. So hi, my name is Joris. I'll be taking care of you. So you ordered a bottle of Centenaire 1969. I wanted to know who's going to be the host. Perfect, with pleasure. Amazing. So, right over here, beautiful. Et voila, shot glasses, and I chose that shape, like a large coupe. It's perfect to let the Pinot Noir breathe and reveal its beautiful aromas. And so beautiful. So right over here, Centenaire Premier Cru, Clos du Passe-Temps from Domaine Fleurot, 1969. Amazing. We had 2 bottles in the cellar. I chose this one because it was slightly elevated, perfectly in the shape of the basket, so we're going to have a little less sediment in the bottle. And so this is really a lovely, beautiful choice. We don't often have the treat to taste older Burgundy, especially this great ripe vintage. I don't know if you already had time to look at the, at the menu, but with an aged wine like this, I think I'd recommend a beautiful risotto with a pan-seared beautiful mushrooms and porcini mousse to match the earthiness of the wine. There we go. And we can also add some, just a few dried raspberries in the dish to enhance the fruit profile. So we gotta be really careful with these older bottles. Et voilà, we're gonna use the Duran beautiful tool. The cork so far seems in really good shape. Sorry for the little noise. Et voilà. Amazing, beautiful long cork in really, really good shape. Beautiful. Amazing. And can I taste the wine, make sure everything is sound? Perfect. Wow, beautiful. What a treat. Thank you so much. Just gonna pour a little bit of wine so we don't take any chance if the decanter had some soap or some dust. There we go. Wow, that's lovely. And that's the tricky part. We gotta be really careful over here. So it's a beautiful monopole. Centenaire, well, in Burgundy there are a few monopoles, but Centenaire is known to have many. And I've never tried this one before, and it's really delicious. So thank you for your choice. And don't worry if I don't pour the entirety of the bottle. I'll stop as soon as I'll see a little bit of dust. It would be a pleasure to filter the rest later on. There we go. Oops, I'm so sorry about this. I see we have beautiful water, so we're all set for that. Amazing, perfect. So it's a treat to have a beautiful aged wine. It's harder for both consumers and restaurants to age it, but when we can sometimes find those gems in perfectly good shape like this, it's really unique, and we're also drinking history. So it's my pleasure. It's a bit warm in the room. If later on you wanted me to cool the bottle a little bit, it's going to be a pleasure for us. I often like to drink the Pinot Noir slightly cool. Right now it's good, but later on it's going to be a pleasure. I wanted to know, would you like to keep the bottle, the decanter, or the cork on the table? Amazing, perfect. So I'll leave the cork for now. I'll leave the decanter over here because it's beautiful but quite large. But there we go. I don't think I'm going to filter it because we only have a few drops left. But I wanted everybody to have a beautiful look. Amazing. Oops. Sorry. Et voilà. And so I went with a vegetarian dish because it's risotto with mushroom, porcini, truffles is a classic pairing with older wine, but it would be a pleasure for me to recommend maybe some meat. I recommend some beautiful veal because it has a subtle flesh. We're gonna grill it on wood to bring those smoky, earthy flavors. Certainly put some carrots, parsnip puree to enhance the fruit profile. And we're going to serve it with a beautiful port reduction. The port reduction is going to add beautiful texture and weight. It's going to enhance the fruit also. If not, maybe I like a fish.
Thank you very much. Well, you have your water, you have a spittoon, if you need it. This will be very simple instructions.
Perfect.
Please make a full organoleptic tasting of this wine. You have 4 minutes.
Beautiful. So this one is white wine. It is clear. It is day bright. It has a deep gold color with some green, older gold reflections. The rim is tight and watery. There is no gas, no sediment, and tearing is high. It's the eye of older white wine with a lot of concentration. On the nose, it's beautiful. It is clean. It has a high intensity of aromas. It seems developing with a high complexity. I'm going to start with the fruit. Everything is a bit dry with dried apricot, dried peaches. We also have beautiful notes that reminds me of a botrytis markers like beautiful saffron, orange marmalade, some honey. We also have a touch of almond and maybe a touch of vanilla, so I think this one has been aged in small French cask. I'll confirm on the palate. And we have a beautiful gravelly minerality sensation. So really beautiful nose and high complexity. On the palate, it is clean, still. Acidity is elevated. It is really refreshing. It is sweet wine, probably around the 80 grams of a residual sugar, really well balanced by the acidity. It has intense flavors. It is long and complex, coming back on the dried marmalade, some dried apricot, also some dried peaches, beautiful almonds and vanilla. So this one has been aged in small French cask. We also have beautiful honey and saffron notes. Really, really a lovely wine. Again, intense flavors. And this one is long, about 8 to 10 seconds, and also high complexity on the palate. This one, I think, comes from a moderate maritime climate from Europe. I think it's from France, from Sauternes. For instance, Château Les Justices on a fresh vintage, 2014, with really crisp and bright acidity. This one is perfectly ready to drink, but I see it continue evolving in the next 5 to 10 years. Personally, I think it is perfect right now, but if you want to develop more of that dried fruit, it's going to be great. I'm going to serve it in those glasses, really sleek white wine glasses, about 8 degrees Celsius to enhance the freshness. I could serve it with beautiful blue cheese, like a Stilton or a Gorgonzola to match the saltiness. We're going to serve it with some honey and dried apricot peaches. We could also serve it with beautiful pan-seared foie gras with apricot chutney. The richness of the foie gras is going to match the richness and the texture of the wine. And we could also go with maybe a dessert, a beautiful apricot pie with some orange zest confit to match the fruit profile, and beautiful vanilla ice cream to match those vanilla notes, and just some toasted almonds on top to match the nutty flavors. It's really a beautiful wine that I think would be lovely to share as a bottle, but could be great also by the glass. Those wines with beautiful sweetness and richness can hold a few days, no problem. I would not decant it. I think it's really perfect like this. Yeah, hard to spit this one. It is really, really lovely. And yeah, super well balanced wine. Those wines speak both about terroir, and it's made with a Sauvignon Blanc and a Semillon grape, mostly Semillon, I forgot to tell you. Those wines sometimes are a bit less in fashion, but I think we need to rediscover them and put them really in front because they are unique, have large history, and are really, really, really good. And they also can age. Sometimes people ask us what types of wine can age. This wine can age really, really well. There is no No bitterness either. And it's quite salty on the finish, so beautiful sense of minerality also. So really lovely, lovely wine.
Thank you very much. All good?
Yes.
Need a sip of water?
Yes, thank you.
Ready for instructions?
Yes.
This group of clients, they would like you to suggest a 4-course menu to highlight a selection of wines which they have arranged in 4 flights.
Amazing.
Could you please check the flights and suggest a menu with 1 dish for each wine? You will have 6 minutes for this.
Absolutely, perfect. Good. Thank you so much. So hi, my name is Joris. It's going to be a pleasure to have a look at your beautiful menu. I see we're already all set with some water. And just before we go, I'd like to recommend a beautiful sparkling wine. We just tried lately a beautiful sparkling wine from Schramsberg in California, from Dunton Ranch Vineyard, Blanc de Blanc. It is crisp and fresh and delicate with beautiful toasty flavors. I would like to serve it with beautiful cooked oysters, Kumoto oysters from California, that are cooked with a mix of potatoes, bread, black truffle emulsion to match those toasty and creamy texture of the champagne. So first course, 3 beautiful wines that are speaking really freshness and tension. So to start, I would recommend a beautiful scallop ceviche. Scallops again, with beautiful lime, lemon, a touch of vinegar and a touch of spice also. It's gonna match all 3 of those wines that are really, really refreshing. To me, the best pairing might be the Semillon, really unique with these beautiful citrusy flavors. And so we're gonna serve it at 8 degrees Celsius in small couped glass for all the 3 of them, and no need to decant. For the next course, we're going to go with richer, more powerful wines. So yes, let's go with a beautiful Crimson Cuvée Pinot Noir from Eola Amity Hills. So this one is not too big, actually. I'm so sorry, I read a bit quickly. We also had the Terrenere, but let's go with the Mount Jefferson Cuvée from Eola Amity Hills. We're going to serve it with some salmon. Beautiful saumon vin rouge, so a classic from France that we're going to serve with. It's cooked in the oven with some mushrooms to match the earthiness of the wine, and we're going to finish it with a beautiful red wine and cranberry reduction. We're going to serve this wine at 16 degrees Celsius in large couped glass, no need to decant it. It's going to be really lovely. Then let's continue with the beautiful trio of wines. This one is a bit more robust. We're going to go with some meat, beautiful rack of lamb because it has gamey flavors to match those more powerful aromas. I would go with the, rack of lamb served with roasted potatoes. We're going to do a beautiful crust on top of thyme, rosemary, and peppers to match all the spice we have in those wines. And yes, all of those 3 wines, it's hard to choose only one. I'm going to go with the beautiful wine from Mendoza, from Terrazas de los Andes, beautiful high elevation Malbec. This one we're going to decant it to help it soften up the tannins in large Bordeaux glasses. And I'm going to serve it at 18 degrees to let the fruit speak. Then with those beautiful botrytis wine for the last course, we're going to go with beautiful dessert. We could go with wonderful panna cotta with some apricot, dried apricot, and also almond paste. With some honey and ginger ice cream on top, just to really match those beautiful botrytis aromas. We're going to serve those wines a bit fresher. We have to pick only one, so I'm going to go with Tokai Asu from Disnoke, 5 Poutonnios, based on Furmint and Arche-le-Velu. Those wines are unique. They were some of the most well-known in the world, and it's really lovely to have some tonight. I'm going to serve it at 8 degrees Celsius in small sleek glass, and I won't decant it before service. To continue, I'd like to recommend maybe some coffee, tea after dinner drinks. I'd like to recommend beautiful espresso, if you like. So espresso from Caldas in Colombia, high elevation terroir with beautiful toasty flavors. If you wanted to have some tea, I'm really fond of Oolong right now because it has a little bit of the green and the black tea personality. We're gonna brew it at 95 degrees just for a few minutes, about 3-4 minutes, not to extract too much. And if you like spirit like me, I'd like to recommend some rum. We have beautiful rum from Guatemala, Zacapa, one of my favorites, the 23 Solera. If you like a bit more cooked and caramelized flavors, we've had the chance to try beautiful mezcal from Del Maguey. And if also you wanted some chocolates with it, I just discovered from San Francisco, the Fève Chocolaterie. They do a beautiful mix. I fell in love with the dark chocolate, caramel, and sea salt one. The saltiness really matches really well with the salinity of those spirits I just recommend. And the bitterness is going to be rounded up by the richness of those spirits also. Just to confirm, you might not be able to answer me. I wasn't sure if we're going to serve all those wines or if I had to pick one. But in all those cases, it's really, really beautiful choices. In every course, they reflect their authenticity of their region and grape. And it's a beautiful, beautiful dinner. I wanted to know, I forgot to ask you, I made many recommendations, but did you have any food allergies, food restrictions, anything I should tell the chef? We're happy to make some modifications. Feel really, really free. We skipped the cheeses. If you wanted to have some cheese between the red wine and the second, well, the fourth and the fifth course, I'd like to recommend some cheeses, maybe a platter that represents a wide array of cheeses from America. I'd like to recommend Louis d'Or from Quebec. It's cow milk aged for 2 years, made in the tradition of a Comté. It's a little less salty, but beautiful almond taste. We could also go with younger goat cheese from California. Right now, we're serving Valley Floor cheese. It is not aged for too long, so quite fresh, quite herbal, with lots of personality. With this one, I'd like to recommend some Chardonnay that is clean.
Thank you very much.
Aye, aye. Thanks again. What an honor.
Voilà.
Merci beaucoup.
It's important to hydrate yourself when you're tasting and talking, especially talking. Now for this task, could you please identify these two wines and describe the aging potential for both? You have 5 minutes.
Perfect. So, glass number 2, it's Chardonnay based from a moderate to warm climate, but I would say a moderate climate, maybe a warm vintage. I think it's a Chardonnay from Burgundy with a little bit of age to it. I think it's 2009, and I wouldn't see it go much further. I think it's perfectly evolved, but I can feel on the palate slightly drying sensation, drying almonds. So maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, I would recommend to drink it, but for me, the time is really now. So Chardonnay from France, Bourgogne, vintage 2029, and an appellation that's known to make some sunnier, more rounder wines, Chassagne Montrachet. Wine number 1, I think it comes from a cool climate. It is young and fresh, with just a touch of bitterness. But I think this one is from France, from Chablis in Burgundy. It is young, cold vintage, 2021, and I I think it could age another 3 to 5 years, no problem. But to me, it doesn't have a lot of weight and body and or length to really wait longer. So yeah, I think the best drinking window would be the next 3 to 5 years. And I think we're on a village level. It's always personal, you know, if you prefer older or younger wines. I tend to prefer to drink them on the lighter and their freshness and the fruit. But two delicious wines that I think are meant to be drunk right now, but could age again just a little bit. So 3 to 5 years for the wine number 1, and really before the next 3 years for the wine number 2. Yeah, wine number 1 has with getting a little bit more higher temperatures, got a little bit more weight and body. But I'm going to leave it Chablis, cool climate. Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll stay at the tasting table for another task. I'll let them set up the glasses before I start to explain, because this is... I asked another important question actually to the previous candidate. What will you drink once the competition is over? Well, you have your mic.
So, I had in mind an IPA, because I love wine, but sometimes after those stressful moments, a beautiful beer is great. But in the room we are waiting, we had access to some wine, and I put Lingua Franca from Eola Amity Hills Chardonnay 2022 that I think was delicious. It's on ice. It's going to be perfect temperature in a few minutes, and can't wait.
That was a very good answer. You won't get any points for it. This was, this is all competition. Ready to listen now?
Yes.
Please identify these 10 beverages and create 5 logical pairs. You have 7 minutes.
Could you repeat the task, please?
Please identify these 10 beverages and create 5 logical pairs. You have 7 minutes.
Perfect. So glass number 1, I think it is a cognac, so a pomace, grape-based spirit cognac. I think it's a VSOP from Rémy Martin, from France. Glass number 2, it's a pomace-based spirit. It's Pisco from Peru, Dominio de los Andes, based on Quebranta and Moscatel grape. Glass number 3, it's from France. It's a Calvados, so distilled cider based on apples. I think it's aged for 8 years from Roger Gros. Glass number 4, it's a beer, so based on malt. I think it's from USA, and it seems like a stronger red ale from Russian River Brewery. Glass number 5 is quite toasty. I think it's based on a Muscat grape from Australia, Rotherglen Muscat, made so with overripe Vendange Tardive wine. Vintage would be 2010. Glass number 6, I think it's wheat beer. Wheat beer from France, Cronenbourg. Glass number 7, it's from Italy. It's a Moscato d'Asti, made in tank method, based on the Moscato grape, from Michele Carlo, super young, 2022. Glass number 8, I think it's from Jerez. It's a wine from Spain, Jerez, Amontillado, no vintage, based on Palomino grape and aged for a minimum of 10 years. Glass number 9, it's from it is quite dry. I think it's based on rye. It's a rye whiskey from USA. Bullet rye aged for, Sazerac rye aged for 10 years. And glass number 10, I think it's also a cognac from France. XO, aged for much longer, from Rémy Martin also. So for the pairings, I would go with 1 and 10 to start, because they're both based from distilled wine from the same region. Then I would go right away with 4 and 6, both based on beers. Then I would go with number 5 and number 7 together, both based on grapes, both based on Muscat and quite aromatic. All right, then I would go number 2 and number 3 because it's more fruit, based on fruits and distilled fruits. And then I will finish 8 and 9 to show two products that have been aged for a long time in cask that both shows beautiful salinity. And yes, that would be my pairings. I think glass number 5, I'm going to change my call. It's not Northern Glen Muscat. I'm going to go with a cream sherry based on Palomino. So fortified wine. Also, and 10-year-old minimum aging from Spain in Andalusia. Sorry. And so a lot of things comes to mind. Beautiful tasting. And so, yes, number 5, I think there's a little addition of arope, Pedro Jimenez, to sweeten and caramelize the wine. Yes. And from Lustau, number 5, I forgot to mention it.
You're free to leave the stage for now.
Thank you.
We will see you later.
Perfect.
A big hand to Joris Garcia from Canada. And while we clear the stage, you will see some videos from ASI partners, and then we'll leave it to the red carpet with Master Sommelier Ivan Goldstein.
Sake. It's a Japanese alcoholic beverage born out of the knowledge of our ancestors and the combination of agricultural products and quality waters of various areas of Japan. Sake has been loved as something that symbolizes Japanese culture. To learn about sake is to learn about Japanese culture. The techniques of sake making using koji have been developed reflecting the natural features and climate of regions, and craftspersons have made not only Nihonshu, but also various kinds of sake such as Shochu and Awamori. Sake also requires cool, clear water. Therefore, people involved in sake making are constantly engaged in protecting the environment. Moreover, the cooperation of local residents is essential because sake is created in local region with local agricultural products. Sake was considered a gift from the deities. For this reason, sake is also essential to social and cultural events, such as festivals and weddings. We will ensure that this Japanese culture, which has been refined through the long history with the flexible sensibility and the excellent techniques, is handed down to the next generation and further developed.
Here we are, back in the interview room. I won't call a carpet this color because we're talking now about sake. Sake is so amazing. I am here now with Hiromi Iuchi. Hiromi is responsible for the United States, in fact, the world, for the Japanese Sake and Shochu Makers Association. Hiromi, I know that you've spent a lot of time here. I also know that you actually lived in New York at one point in time, so you've seen a lot of evolution of sake in the United States. We are seeing more and more sake in beverage programs all over the country today. How has the perception of sake evolved in America over the last decade or so?
If you're talking about the United States, I know very much about the United States market, but it's been evolved so much, and a lot of sake item brand breweries are exported to the United States. It's actually the #1 or #2 of the export country from Japan. But then, if we are speaking of the South America, we need to work on it more. I think it's getting there, and Brazil and Mexico is started picking up the sake more, but that's our goal, target right now.
So speaking of that, that obviously speaks to training and it speaks to education. Do you find in your travels that staff today are well-versed in sake, or is there still a big education gap that we need to manage? And what role do sommeliers play in educating the staff and educating the consumer?
I think sommelier is everything. I think sommeliers are the keys. So I'm really I have a lot of expectation to all the sommeliers in the world, people who is the professional in serving, hospitality, and the wines and everything else. So if they can bring the sake into their expertized world, that would be the only way, and that would be very helpful for the sake.
I think it's really important that the staffs in restaurants and the sommeliers as teachers are doing a good job. One of the single largest impediments that I think we have is the language and the characters. And for most Americans and most South Americans, I would assume, maybe some of the Japanese, Peruvian restaurants different, but for most of us, picking up and looking at the label is not very helpful, which means the training is even more important. Are there certain things that you think are the most critical elements for the staff to be able to understand and to be able to share with their guests?
Okay. Sake and wine, it's very similar, but it's totally different kinds of beverage. The sake and wine, it should be enjoyed the same, paired with food, and that element is the same, but the technique or the method or ingredient, of course, is totally different. So it's very important for us to ask the sommelier to teach and educate, help us educating the consumers, and that's the only way that sake can be go up.
I hope you all accept that challenge. My last question. Your important partnership with ASI has been developing for a long period of time. What role does that play in your strategy?
That's my biggest strategy. ASI, working with ASI is it's opened the door for us and for all of our members, which is like 1,600 members in Japan, the producers. With ASI, working with the ASI, that like bring us to the next level, to the mainstream, I hope. And yes, this is it's working, and I feel very thankful, grateful for ASI to consider us as a family.
Okay. And finally, as you've traveled a lot, great. Well, I guess with that, they've said, time is up. So with that, it is such a pleasure to have you here. Everybody drink more sake. Yay! Back to you. Thank you very much. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that. We're all so familiar with the back of the house, right?
All good? Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Mark Guillaudeu, United States of America. Please join us. Don't stand there. And first of all, pay attention. We have made markers here so you don't drop down there, or we don't want candidates to get hurt or die. Now we will actually switch to French because, as Mark's first language is English, on va le faire en français.
Merci.
Bienvenue à ton petit restaurant. Il y a quelques tables là, c'est relativement serré, mais c'est sympa. Je vais vous donner un peu d'instructions. On commence ici. Cette table est prête pour l'apéritif. Veuillez prendre la commande et les servir. Vous avez 6 minutes.
Pourriez-vous répéter, s'il vous plaît?
Cette table est prête pour l'apéritif. Veuillez prendre la commande et les servir. Vous avez 6 minutes.
Merci, monsieur. Alors, bonsoir, je serai votre sommelier. Je m'appelle Marc Guillaudeu. J'étais rendu compte que vous aimeriez un apéritif.
Nous prenons tous les deux un verre de champagne, s'il vous plaît.
Un verre de champagne, tous les deux, et pour la madame?
Puisque vous avez du champagne d'ouvert, je prendrais bien un Bellini, s'il vous plaît.
Une champagne, désolé?
Puisque vous avez du champagne d'ouvert, je prendrais bien ouvert, je prendrais bien un Bellini.
Ah, Bellini. Parfait, je retourne tout de suite. Alors ici, nous avons une jolie bouteille de drapier, un champagne très traditionnel du sud de Champagne, basé à pinot noir, très riche, très sèvreux, et un parfait roux avec lequel elle commence. Pour la madame. Alors, après le Bellini et avec le champagne, aimeriez-vous quelque chose à manger, peut-être un plat de huîtres ou un plat de fruits de mer? Parfait. Nous avons un joli plat de huîtres très délicieux, local de Californie. Les Sweetwaters de Hog Island sont très délicieux et nous les servirons avec une mignonnette de fenouil et yuzu. On prend inspiré par le Japon maintenant. Et madame, je retournerai tout de suite avec vos Bellini. La Bellini, c'est un très joli cocktail, très traditionnel, surtout pour l'été, mais ici en Sonoma, c'est presque l'été aujourd'hui. Un apéritif de l'époque d'or, je crois, ou presque. Mais bien aussi délicieux avec les huîtres et des autres plats. Alors, puis-je vous conseiller quelque chose d'autre à manger ou puis-je vous faire quelque chose d'autre maintenant?
Comme vous souhaitez.
Comme vous souhaitez. Alors, parfait. Peut-être à commencer, nous pouvons... j'aimerais recommander la spécialité de nos maisons. Nous avons beaucoup de bons produits ici en Californie. Pour la saison, peut-être une petite salade très fraîche avec une vinaigrette au citron maillère, avec les produits du Frog Hollow, Little Gem, l'étude de Little Gem ici en Californie, et aussi avec Ourson de Santa Barbara, un petit peu de fruits de mer encore, mais je crois aussi avec le citron maillard, avec le pêche de Bellini et aussi avec les notes savoureuses de champagne, la minéralité sol calcaire là-bas. Aimeriez-vous ça? D'accord, je vais le dire au chef. Merci. Et messieurs, buvez-vous de l'eau pétillante ou de l'eau plat?
L'eau plat. Ah, c'est bon, ça marche.
Là, c'est bon, ça marche. Alors, et madame, pour vous aussi, ça marche aussi?
Tout bon, merci.
Alors, parfait. Ici, avez-vous des choses? Bonjour, je m'appelle Guillaudeu, je serai votre sommelier. Puis-je faire quelque chose à vous aider ce soir ou... Ça serait bien pour le maintenant, alors je retournerai. Merci.
Well, if you're happy we're here and eager to go there, we can go there.
Parfait.
Do you want some... pardon.
Désolé, André.
Français.
Oui.
Tu prends un petit verre d'eau.
Un petit verre d'eau, oui, merci.
C'est important de s'hydrater quand on travaille.
Un petit verre d'eau?
Non, mais
Pas un petit verre d'eau.
Ah oui, non.
Nous avons les deux ici en Californie, donc c'est important d'être spécifique.
C'est important quand on déguste, mais plus important quand on parle.
Oui, exactement.
OK, allons-y. Veuillez servir une bouteille de Centenaire 1969 pour ces 4 clientes. Vous avez 6 minutes.
Pourriez-vous répéter, s'il vous plaît?
Oui. Veuillez servir une bouteille de Centenaire 1969 pour ces 4 clientes. Vous savez... Oui, je dois répéter parce que je ne vois rien, cette lumière. Putain, pardon. Ouais. C'est 8 minutes. Je vais répéter encore une fois. Ouais. Veuillez servir une bouteille de Centenaire 1969 pour ces 4 clients. Vous savez, 8 minutes. Allez.
Alors, bien sûr, j'étais rendu compte que vous avez commandé une bouteille de Centenaire 1969, en mélangeant un petit peu froid. Qui aimerait le goûter? Alors, parfait. Et les tous seront bouvons? Parfait, je reprendrai. Alors, messieurs, quelle jolie bouteille. Centenaire de Maine Fleurot, Clos du Passe-Temps, 1969. Parfait. Je vais le lire, mais avec une vin de Bourgogne de cet âge, je trouve que de temps en temps, ils ne peuvent pas être carafés. Je pense que vous devez l'apprécier. Juste après, je vais l'ouvrir. Je vais le carafer seulement à remover le sédiment. Êtes-vous d'accord? Parfait. Alors, j'ai choisi une carafe aussi étroite que je peux entre les deux, parce qu'encore, je n'aime pas aérer le vin beaucoup. C'est seulement ici de le remover du sédiment. Et aussi, j'ai choisi ces verres très évasés à accentuer les notes florales du vendange. C'est un vendange froid, je crois que les arômes des champignons. Alors, avez-vous commandé un plat de nos restaurants ou... Non, comme j'aime. Alors, nous avons par l'entrée, ici, nous avons une roulade pintade avec champignons de Morel, d'Oregon. Par commencer aussi, si vous aimeriez en hors d'œuvre, une tarte aux champignons. Tarte aux champignons locale avec truffes et crème. Le bouchon, c'est joli. Je pense que ça sera parfait. Alors, la condition de cette bouteille, c'est parfait. C'est parfait. Je pense que vous appréciez le vin très, très bon. Et ici, après la pintade, pour le dessert, si vous aimeriez quelque chose, un plat tel une assiette de chocolat local. Nous avons un producteur très, très bien connu ici en Californie, basé à San Francisco, qui s'appelle Dandelion. Un assortiment, ils font des chocolats des origines, seulement un petit peu de sédiment là-bas. Aimeriez-vous la bouteille à la table. Vous voulez, parfait. Alors, monsieur. Moi, par les chocolats, comme je disais, je préfère les chocolats. C'est bon pour vous? Je préfère les chocolats de la République dominicaine, très fruités, surtout avec des notes de framboise. Je crois qu'ils se colleront très bien avec le plat. Mais encore, il y a beaucoup des options. Aimeriez-vous le carafe à la table ou regardez donc. Alors, donc, ici, monsieur, pour vous, le carafe, la jolie bouteille, et aussi le bouchon. Aimeriez-vous le bouchon, puis-je le prendre? Alors, parfait, monsieur. Avez-vous des autres choses avec lesquelles je peux vous conseiller? Peut-être une bouteille après ceci, peut-être une autre vendange, peut-être un autre vin, un autre style? Désolé? C'est à moi. Donc, parfait. Après cette jolie vendange très vieille, parfait. Si vous avez déjà goûté un vin de centenaire, peut-être un vin un peu plus structuré, peut-être un Armand Rousseau de Gervais Chambertin, en style à avancer la carte. Beaucoup plus de corps, plus savoureux. Une jolie vendange telle 1978, je crois, c'est légendaire vraiment. Et nous avons quelques bouteilles ici dans nos restaurants, si vous vous aimeriez. Parfait, non? Alors, donc... Ah, c'est l'autre monsieur là-bas. Quoi d'autre? Par café, aimeriez-vous du café, des autres boissons ou... Du café parfait. Ici, avec les notes des champignons, je pense qu'un café un peu parfumé. Ici, en Santa Rosa, nous avons Land & Water, un torréfacteur ici très local. Ils font un café de l'Éthiopie avec les notes de thé et des citrons. Je pense que c'est une différence qui sera très intéressante avec les plats que je vous ai conseillés et aussi avec les notes du vin. Alors, parfait. Parfait. Je vais parler avec le barista et je retournerai. Donc, êtes-vous sûr que vous n'exigez pas plus de l'eau?
Non, ça va.
OK.
Merci.
Donc, OK. Alors, bon, je crois.
Si vous êtes content, nous sommes contents.
Oui.
OK, merci beaucoup.
Merci. Non, c'est exigé ici dans nos restaurants. Le service de l'eau est aussi important que le service de l'eau est pétillant, je vois. Non? OK.
C'est bon.
OK, maintenant on va déguster. Veuillez faire une dégustation organoleptique de ce vin. Vous avez 4 minutes.
Pourriez-vous répéter, s'il vous plaît?
Je vais répéter, c'est très simple. Veuillez faire une dégustation organoleptique de ce vin. Vous avez 4 minutes. Allez-y.
Alors, Vernona, c'est un vin clair, tranquille, avec une robe de jaune pâle, c'est brillante. La viscosité, c'est très visqueuse, les jaunes sont très lentes. Et donc, au nez, c'est un vin très aromatique, très intense. C'est vraiment, ça n'est pas jeune, mais ça n'est pas exactement âgé, c'est entre les deux. Mais c'est net, en bouche, tous les fruits sont confiturés d'abricots, de pêche, de citron de Maillère, zeste de citron séché, aussi une confiture de citron, pommes jaunes. Il y a des notes de safran et aussi des notes de gingembre, une confiture de gingembre. Donc je pense que le vin était fait avec le botrytis du pourriture noble. Pour la minéralité, il y a un sens des sols calcaires et aussi des roches humides, telles quand quelqu'un est presque à la rive. Il y a des notes aussi des fleurs desséchées, telles camomille, encore safran, fleurs blancs, fleurs de pommier, un peu de fleurs de sureau. j'aimerais servir ce... Ah, désolé. C'est un vendu, probablement c'est de 130 grammes de sucre résiduel. L'acidité est très très vif, le corps est onctueux, la texture est crémeuse à cause de la sucrosité et le niveau d'alcool est généreux, je crois que c'est 13,5%. En texture, encore c'est crémeux, c'est très très complexe, il y a beaucoup de niveaux et c'est très long en bouche, plus que 30 codelides maintenant. J'aimerais servir ce vin dans un petit verre à vin blanc élégant. J'aimerais le servir probablement aux alentours de 50 degrés Celsius. On peut le carafer, mais je ne crois pas que c'est exigé exactement. Et ceci, c'est un style de vin à très longtemps gardé, à moins 20 années de plus. C'est un assemblage de Sauvignon blanc avec Sémillon et muscadelle. Ça vient d'Europe, de la France, de Bordeaux, de la rive gauche de Sauternes. C'est un premier cru terre Château-Rieux-Sec. Et une vendange encore telle 2013, une jolie vendange pour le Sauternes. Encore c'est Sauternes AOC. J'aimerais l'accompagner. Il y a beaucoup de choses qu'on peut faire. Une tarte au citron avec une glace de nasturtium, une petite touche californienne ici, ou aussi par un plat savoureux à queue d'homard sur un écrasé de courge musquée avec safran et un gelée de gingembre. C'est un style très classique, une fermentation foie. C'était vieilli en fût de chêne aussi. Et il y avait des notes de cèdre, d'encens, de vanille et aussi la texture encore crémeuse et ronde. En bouche, les saveurs persistent. J'aimerais confirmer que c'est toujours les notes de pêche, d'abricot, des citrons séchés, des pommes jaunes, mais encore surtout ce note de safran et des fruits de mer aussi à cause des sols calcaires. Le cèdre et l'encens de la vieillissement en fût de chêne sont toujours là-bas. Et les sols calcaires et les notes des roches humides. Vraiment, c'est une jolie vin très complexe. C'est un grand plaisir de le déguster ou le servir ou le boire avec les plats. Peut-être une autre chose qu'on peut l'accompagner en cigare léger. Je crois que c'est un peu... De temps en temps, on ne pense pas avec les cigares ici, mais en cigare léger, tel la Toro Fuente, le 858, sera très délicieux, je crois. Et je crois que le vin a la puissance de s'accorder avec le cigare, mais aussi avec des fromages. Vraiment, ceci, après le dîner, on peut l'accompagner des fromages un peu savoureux et complexes, tel Metal Cunic.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci à vous pour ce délicieux vin.
Et je dois poser une question, ça n'a rien à faire avec le concours, pas de points. Qu'est-ce que tu vas boire quand la finale est finie?
Probablement inspiré par l'homme légendaire ici, Doug Frost, probablement un peu de mezcal.
Ok, bonne réponse. Mais
inspiré
pas de
par Steve et Doug, probablement un peu de mezcal.
Ok, super.
Mais on va voir le soirée jeune.
Ok, écoutez bien maintenant. Ces clients aimeraient qu'on leur propose un menu en 4 services pour mettre en valeur une sélection de vins qui sont regroupés en 4 séries. Pouvez-vous vérifier les séries de vins et suggérer un menu avec un plat pour chaque série de vins? Vous avez 6 minutes.
Pourriez-vous répéter, s'il vous plaît?
Ces clients aimeraient bien que vous proposiez un menu en 4 services pour mettre en valeur une sélection de vins qui sont regroupés en 4 séries. Pouvez-vous vérifier les séries de vins et suggérer un menu avec un plat pour chaque série de vins? Vous avez 6 minutes.
Merci. Là-bas ou ici? Alors. Vouliez-vous me donner 1 minute à voir la carte et décider des choses? OK. Pour les vins que j'ai choisis, j'aimerais commencer avec le Vinhos Verdes Semillon Hunter Valley en Nouveau-Wales du Sud, dans Australie. Un style très particulier de la vallée, avec les notes très parfumées et très des citrons, des fruits tropicaux, papaye vert, mangue, tous les fruits croquants aussi, avec beaucoup très très rafraîchissant, beaucoup d'acidité là-bas. À commencer, je crois que c'est un apéritif parfait. Là-bas, j'aimerais commencer avec un plat très traditionnel des Américains, tel un ceviche de mahi-mahi avec mangue, jalapeno et coriandre. On continue à changer au vin un peu plus parfumé. Criston, Mount Jefferson Cuvée, Pinot Noir, des collines et Willamette dans la vallée de Willamette, dans l'Oregon, en Amérique du Nord, aux États-Unis. Le vendange là-bas, le vendange de Vinhos était 2018. Le vendange de Criston, c'est 2021. Criston est en style avec le levure indigène, un peu plus savoureux. Donc, on peut commencer avec je crois, avec un plat de riz sauvage. Le riz sauvage avec une tartare de saumon du Pacifique, du nord-ouest du Pacifique, avec yuzu et soya, qui indique l'influence de la cuisine japonaise, surtout avec Portland, c'est une ville très très sophistiquée. Je crois que les notes parfumées des cerises rouges s'accorderont avec le sauce soya dans le tartare. Et aussi, c'est une méthode à souligner la qualité des produits du nord-ouest du Pacifique. Enfin, on continue avec Adi Badenhorst, Rannesgras Sanso de Swartland, 2020. Ça vient d'Afrique du Sud, en endroit très différent, avec les sols tels granit. Oh, aussi, désolé, j'aimerais retourner pour un moment. Avec le Vinhos, j'aimerais le servir aux alentours de 7 degrés Celsius un peu froid, dans un petit verre pour les vins blancs, à accentuer les arômes floraux et aussi la note de pierre fossile. Avec le Criston, on va le servir aux alentours de 14 degrés Celsius, dans un verre à vin rouge évassé encore, à accentuer les notes florales de Pinot Noir. Pour le Badenhorst, un verre évassé encore, mais tel en syrah, un peu plus ronde. J'aimerais l'accompagner avec... on dit venison rôti avec un gilet de betterave et banaïs rôti. Je crois que les notes des fruits rouges là-bas aussi. Sanso, c'est une variété avec, ça n'est pas sans l'éthanol ni sans l'acidité. Les notes là-bas, je crois, s'accorderont très bien avec la richesse du venison de Nouvelle-Zélande, la qualité très très élevée, une spécialité du chef. Et enfin, on continue avec vraiment des vins légendaires du monde. Feiler Artinger Rooster Ausbruck d'Autriche, de Burgenland, de Rust. C'est un style le plus vieil style du vin avec le plus noble du monde. C'est un grand plaisir de le déguster. Et ici, on peut le servir avec un plat traditionnel, je crois, du sud des États-Unis, une tarte avec... pécan ou une glace d'érable. Je crois que tout ça, ça peut souligner la diversité des plats ici aux Amériques. Et aussi, j'aimerais servir le Feiler Artinger avec un petit verre à vin élégant et aux alentours, probablement presque 10 degrés Celsius. Pour le Criston, le Mount Jefferson Cuvée, je crois, ça n'a pas de sédiment, mais j'aimerais le carafer seulement, que ça puisse suffire un peu. Le Badenhorst, je crois que ça suffit sans carafage, est encore aux alentours de 16 degrés Celsius. Si on veut, il y a aussi des autres choses telles café ou tel chocolat, on peut discuter. Mais pour maintenant, je crois, en 4 plats, on commence avec un vin blanc très rafraîchissant, on continue avec un vin léger. Après, un vin savoureux et enfin, on termine avec un vin vraiment... Feiler Artinger, c'est légendaire. Il a fondé le Rooster Ausbruck Essence, le cercle Rooster Ausbruck. C'est une association des producteurs qui veut revivifier ce style de vin très rare. Et Et vraiment, si j'aimerais vous dire, parce qu'après les plats, il y a des digestifs. Hein. Et donc, avec Rooster Ausbruck, c'est un des seuls styles de vin où j'ai trouvé que ça peut s'accorder avec les cigares forts, tel en Monte Cristo Petit Edmondo 2. C'est très délicieux. Merci à vous.
Merci beaucoup. On va continuer avec une petite dégustation ici. Pour cette épreuve, veuillez identifier ces deux vins et donner votre avis sur leur capacité de vieillissement. Vous avez 5 minutes.
Pourriez-vous répéter, s'il vous plaît?
Avec plaisir. Veuillez identifier ces deux vins et donner votre avis sur leur capacité de vieillissement. Vous avez 5 minutes.
Merci.
Allez-y.
On commence à dire les deux vins ne sont pas vieillis en feu de chêne. Vers numéro 2, ça n'est pas filtré. Les niveaux d'acidité pour les deux sont élevés, mais le niveau de verre numéro 1, c'est extrême, c'est très rafraîchissant. Et vraiment, je pense que ça bénéficiera de quelques années de vieillissement, à moins, je crois, 10 années. Ici, aussi, les fruits dans le verre numéro 1, ils sont croquants et à peine mûrs. Donc, encore, ça bénéficiera à moins de 10 années de vieillissement. Mais vraiment, je pense que ça peut... on peut le garder probablement à 20 à 31. Verre numéro 2, par contraste aussi. Verre numéro 2, on peut le garder, mais les fruits sont déjà mûrs. Des citrons, d'ananas, des fruits tropicaux, tel ça. Et aussi, c'est important, je crois, à dire que la cause de la différence entre l'acidité, le niveau d'acidité, c'est que vin numéro 2 s'est passé dans la fermentation malolactique, donc le niveau c'est un peu plus bas. Vin numéro 1, le malolactique était interdit, était prévenu. Donc, on peut le garder un peu plus du temps. Et aussi, peut-être un peu de rondeur et ces notes crémeuses, cette texture crémeuse de verre numéro 2. C'est aussi important, je crois, à dire qu'ils sont les deux du monocépage de Chardonnay, mais des origines différentes, je crois. Verre numéro 2 ici en Californie, des États-Unis, d'Amérique du Nord, de Sonoma, de côte nord, probablement presque la côte. Quelqu'un endroit tel Annapolis, tel Pays, les vins de Pays, une très jolie vignoble. Mais ici, autre raison pour laquelle on peut le garder un peu plus de temps, c'est plus sucré. Des notes des pierres fossiles. C'est un style très, très réductif, très protégé de l'oxygène là-bas. Mais ici, c'était utilisé à créer de la texture. Donc, verre numéro 2, c'est un vin à boire maintenant, pendant qu'on attend pour verre numéro 1. Et verre numéro 1, style encore très réductif. Ça me souvient des nouveaux styles de Japon et des autres endroits de l'Australie, par exemple, très, très réductif, très, très concentré. Mais enfin, à cause du niveau d'acidité, le malolactique interdite et le niveau de sucre, on peut garder verre numéro 1, 21 à mois. Verre numéro 2, à cause de la fermentation malolactique, à cause de la mûreté des fruits, à cause du niveau d'acidité, et que le sucre n'était pas exactement une note de la style, ici, on peut le boire dans seulement quelques années. Aussi, c'est délicieux maintenant. Peut-être aussi à dire seulement que verre numéro 2 n'était pas filtré encore, si je ne l'ai pas déjà dit. Mais ça, c'est tout.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci à vous.
Un peu plus d'eau.
Désolé. À la gauche, à la droite, à la gauche.
Non, c'est gratuit. Laisse-moi.
Ah oui, merci. C'est bon que vous buvez de l'eau plat.
OK. Il reste une petite dégustation. Vous êtes prêts à écouter?
Oui.
Veuillez...
Désolé.
Oh, c'est important à écouter.
Oui,
hein.
oui.
C'est important. Veuillez identifier ces 10 boissons et créer logiquement 5 paires. Vous savez, 7 minutes.
Pourriez-vous répéter, s'il vous plaît?
Oui. Veuillez identifier ces 10 boissons et créer logiquement 5 paires. Vous savez, 7 minutes.
Merci.
Allez.
D'accord. Le numéro 1, c'est une boisson spiritueuse, c'est base à canne, c'est rhône. Ça vient d'Amérique, vraiment Amérique centrale, Amérique du Nord, de Caraïbes. C'est un... Non, je retrouverai. Verre numéro 2, aussi une boisson spiritueuse, mais c'est un eau de vie de raisin ou eau de vie de vin. Je crois que c'est un pisco d'Amérique du Sud, de Pérou. Un producteur tel Machu Picchu. Verre numéro 3, c'est aussi un eau de vie de raisin ou de vin. Mais c'est aussi en pisco, mais ça vient de Chili, c'est Alto de Carmen avec un petit peu de vieillissement en fût de chêne. Le numéro 4. C'est une bière belgique. Au passage, il n'y a plus de doublons. C'est une bière telle... peut-être entre les deux. C'est une pale ale d'Amérique du Nord de base de l'orge. D'un producteur tel The Brewery en Californie, en style double, en style mais américain. Numéro 5, c'est un vin fortifié ou mouté. Beaucoup d'acidité. Donc, d'Europe, de la France, quelque chose de ratafia de champagne d'un producteur de salmon, fortifié avec eau de vie de raisin. Verre numéro 6, base de l'orge, c'est aussi une bière, c'est aussi une amère telle Gueuse, telle brasserie Boon de la Belge. Verre numéro 7, c'est Moscato d'Asti, base de vin ou base de raisin d'Italie, d'Europe, d'un producteur de Guillaudeu et vendange 2022. Verre numéro 8, c'est aussi un vin mouté, mais c'est Jerez Dio, base de Palomino Bianco, d'Espagne, d'Andalusia, d'Europe, d'un producteur Tadeusz. Verre numéro 9, c'est un boisson spiritueux, c'est distillé de l'orge. Ça vient de Scotland, d'un producteur tel... Non. Pour maintenant de Scotland, d'un producteur tel Glenlivet. Et enfin, le numéro 10, c'est aussi base de canne, aussi en boisson spiritueux, c'est aussi en rhum d'Amérique du Centre, de la Caraïbe. Mais ici, je crois que c'est base de canne de Jamaica, d'Appleton, Jamaica, mais Navy Strength. Les deux, verre numéro 4 et verre numéro 6, sont deux bières. Verre numéro 2 et verre numéro 3 sont deux eau de vie de raisin, eau de vie de vin, et aussi d'Amérique du Sud. Verre numéro 5 et verre numéro 7 sont les deux vins. Donc, qui reste? Non, verre numéro 5 et verre numéro 8 sont les deux vins fortifiés. Quoi?
Merci beaucoup. Le temps passe vite quand on s'amuse.
Oui, toujours.
On va vous libérer pour l'instant. So a big hand for Mark Guillaudeu, USA. Et on se voit tout à l'heure. Merci.
Merci à vous. Tu as la gauche. Doigt, désolé, doigt.
So we have another video coming up.
our expectation for the Best Sommelier of Americas Chile 2022 is just to have a great competition, have the best sommelier of the continent, and have a lot of fun.
México! Ecuador!
I can really say I saw 18 fantastic contestants. Time.
12, number 6, 3, 15, 8, 19.
My sensation about the level of the candidate for the semi-final was very good. Really, I really appreciate the level of the candidate. They're improving very well. The level is hard. It's very high, and I was very impressed about that.
This competition should be won by the best.
The winner is
Maria Valeria Kumper.
I'm ready. Is technology ready? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are soon ready for the last part of the final, where we'll have all candidates on stage at the same time. So get ready for this last and fun part of the show. But what will they write on? I don't know. Well, no, it probably works. Okay. But can someone give them, hand out the equipment? They write on this? Yes. Yeah, that should work. But I think tables would be better. I will ask just like Olivier. Et ils sont pas préparés les tables pour écrire, mais ça marche. Parce que les papiers sont quand même épais. Écoute, c'est pas moi qui a. C'est David qui a dit qu'il n'y avait pas besoin de table. So a big hand for all three candidates coming onto the stage.
Thank you so much.
Origami.
Well,
okay.
I guess you gentlemen, you have seen this before. You can, if you stand a bit separated to each other, so you stand in the middle and you stand a bit on the...
En deux, toi.
Voilà. Okay, gentlemen, I believe you have seen this before. I will start in English, and as you don't understand a word of English, I will repeat in French later.
Merci pour ça.
For this task, you will see 10 slides with different pictures and hints. Each slide will change after 15 seconds. Please write down what you see and present it to the audience. Should I repeat?
Yes, and yes.
You will see 10 slides with different pictures and hints. Each slide will change after 15 seconds. Please write down what you see and present it to the audience.
Perfect.
And I know we have a lot of wine experts in the audience. If you see something you recognize, of course, you won't say anything out loud. Okay, on va répéter.
And we look on the screen over there.
Slides, yes.
Là-bas.
Perfect.
Screens.
Slides.
Et on va répéter, pour être politiquement correct, il faut répéter en français, quoi.
Ouais, merci.
Vous verrez 10 diapositives avec des images et des indices. Les diapositives changeront aux 15 secondes. Écrivez ce que vous voyez et montrez votre réponse au public. Vous voulez que je répète?
Non, merci.
Okay. Donc, so I think we are ready for the slides. Everyone has a blank paper. All good for the next slide?
Ouais.
Good, let's go.
No.
Okay, ready for the next slide?
Wait. Voulez-vous le nom complet ou? OK.
All good for the next? Okay.
Désolé, un moment.
Sweet.
Ah. Le nom est un peu long.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It really didn't look like these gentlemen had a fun life, huh? They were particularly happy in those photos. So I think that sommelier today is about, you know, talking more about pleasure and the joy of it. Well, we have to ask some silly questions.
Yes, please do.
Mark, well, now the competition is actually finished, so you can actually speak in your mother tongue. How do you feel?
Overjoyed.
Overjoyed?
Perhaps I should have less joy.
No. Joy is the most important thing. You know, sometimes it looks serious when we taste and everything, but it's about the pleasure in the end. Joris?
So, feel good, really proud to be here. Yeah, of course, we have many things in our mind. I'm trying not to think on the positive things, but I learned a lot and it's going to be super helpful for what's coming in the future also. So quite happy.
Did you compete in the Americas before?
First time for the Americas.
It's first time, but you did some in Canada.
Yeah, I did. So 4 times Quebec before winning 8, then once Canada, and then first time here. And I was super lucky to go to the Nordics also as an invited guest. And besides that, that's about it. But super pleased, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I need to study a bit more the old pictures of the wine world.
All sad and black and white, but they came up with good inventions in the end.
Totally.
Nicolas?
I feel like myself. It's been a long run, and I'm really, really happy to be here. So yes, I feel like I could be myself today and yesterday. So I'm really happy with the learnings that I have this week.
How are my colleagues feeling regarding the jury? Do we have to wait, or are we getting ready?
The mics? Oh.
Allez, microphone.
Ouais. Non, monsieur. Bien joué.
Mes amis.
Nicolas.
Oh! Très bon! C'est fini.
C'est fini.
Maintenant, la seule question qui reste, c'est qu'est-ce qu'on veut voir? Ah ouais, OK.
Wait. We can wait. We've been waiting, so don't worry.
Ouais.
It's been a long wait, like 17 years.
Ouais. Merci.
Thank you.
Merci.
Can we show now what they did this week and the wines? After interview, you are going live? There's an interview on the screen. Yes. Okay, I didn't know.
And welcome to the interview room for our final pair of interviews for the day. I have with me Bryan Davie from Stoelzle Glassware, and I have with me also Ribeiro from Symington and Grand Port. Bryan, let us start with you. Your company has over, I was reading, 125 years of tradition of making glasses in Germany, and glassware in Germany, but it's relatively newer here in the States, in the Americas in general. What does your participation mean for the strategy and vision? Oops, sorry. Sorry, everybody. Let's start that really quickly again. So, Bryan, your strategy here in expansion in the Americas, obviously you have a long history in Germany going back over 125 years. You're a little newer here. How does this Aussie participation and your strategy and vision for America collide?
Well, I think this occasion is very great for us. Mostly because a lot of these people here know really good wine, and in knowing really good wine, they know really good glassware. So being able to build a bit of that fan base up, so we have more people that are going out while they're spreading the gospel of good wine. They can also talk about good glassware, and then we'll get the conversation started there.
Absolutely. And by the way, I hope you all have appreciated the amazing glassware and all the different kinds of glassware that Stoelzle has provided all week. So, Rui, I have worked with you and your wines for a long period of time, and obviously Graham Sport's been a huge supporter of Aussie for years, but this year you expanded with the full portfolio of Symington family estate wines, Fonte Sotto, everything else. Why is that important for your company to support sommelier?
You know, first and foremost, they are wine professionals, they are trade professionals, so they buy wine, and that for us is really important. They have also a critical role in education, which we are quite interested and keen on supporting, because we do a lot of education ourselves. We represent a very unique category, which is sport, which is linked with a lot of information that sometimes is hard to convey. And we believe that this audience has a great role in terms of conveying that message and being side by side with us. So count on us to support all these sorts of activities.
Don't you love it when they hit those answers right? Going back to you, Bryan, so sommeliers obviously have to know wine, other beverages, et cetera, and there's so many choices in glassware. I know you love spirits, is what I've heard. Tell us about some of your favorite products and other glasses that you have that we should know more about.
Oh, I mean, we spent so much time this week with a lot of our wine glasses, the Quattrofill line, the Revolution line, the Exquisite line, but my favorite is Guillaudeu. It is just a very, very thin glass. It looks beautiful to hold in your hand, very minimalist, and it's great for making old fashions in, Manhattans, whatever you want. I had a strawberry margarita in our cocktail glass, and then also we have a great tasting line. We don't tell you what to put in it, because why should we tell you how to drink your spirits? So you can put gin, tequila, whiskey, whatever you want in those tasting glasses and definitely have a ball.
That's awesome. And speaking of sort of the unexpected, Rui, I think many people consider port as sort of an end of the meal tradition and all that. But port can be enjoyed in other parts of the meal as well, too. At Symington, what are some of your favorite recommendations for unexpected matches of port with food?
Okay, before going with unexpected, I have to say myself and most of us at Symington, we do believe that kind of after dinner and as a dessert pairing, it's kind of the most suitable moment for port. Besides that, there are certain latitudes where we see people enjoying more and more ports as an aperitif. Some profiles we have, like the tawnies, more clear styles. And also, given the history of port, the authenticity, all the craft involved, we see more and more mixologists also interested in port. And we also support them with some port products that we are having more and more dedicated to that side of the business too.
Maybe we could do a margarita with port. That could be really interesting.
I'm not so sure about that, but
we can try. We can try.
Oh, so let me go back to you, Bryan. Another question. Like everything in the restaurant business, obviously selecting glassware requires the sommelier to weigh out a number of different considerations and factors before making the decision of what to use and what to purchase. So what makes Stoelzle stand out?
I think the biggest thing is its approachability. As my colleague was talking, they do a lot of education. And to be in the educational sphere, you have to be able to be approachable. You have to have a wide range of things that can perform at a picnic or at a gala dinner. And that's what we do best. We have something for everybody in all shapes and sizes. And the best part is everything is dishwasher safe, because life shouldn't be spent washing dishes.
Dishwasher safe. All sommeliers love to hear that. And I'm going to give you the last word, Rui. So if a sommelier wins the competition, and one of them is going to win, and wants to celebrate with a Symington wine, what's the perfect wine for that celebration?
I bet if they win the competition, it's going to be a milestone in their career. So nothing better than the king of ports. And I would say a Graham's 1994, and given the size of the audience, from a bottle this big, like a Magnum or something like that.
Maybe a Nebuchadnezzar or something like that.
Something, a Methuselah or something.
A Methuselah would be fun. Andreas, back to you.
Before we get the candidates back on stage and announce the results, I want to just brief you through what the candidates have been doing this week. Because it started with quarterfinals, and we'll have an explanation of these tasks now. So the first we wanted the candidates to do was to identify wine. So this means finding the vintages and grape varieties, not full written tasting. And we played with 2 Cabernet Franc from different origins, and we played with 2 Rieslings from 2 different origins. And I think most candidates were quite spot on in terms of the style, so it's not always impossible or very difficult beverage we are pouring. Then we always want the candidates, of course, to show their capabilities of describing a wine, tasting it blind, writing down, being consequent, and you know, that perfect balance between being exact and a little bit of poetry at the same time. And this was Cadel Bosco, Cuvée Expérience, 46th edition, Franciacorta Extra Brut. Then it was, of course, a written test, and this is always something which is very difficult. 100 questions prepared by our dear friend Marcos Del Monego, Best Sommelier of the World 1998, who's unfortunately not with us here, but he should have great credit for taking all that time to put together that theory test that I suppose a lot of candidates have nightmares about. And then it was a classic service task, half bottle of sparkling wine, 6 guests, 3 minutes, very quick, doing what you were supposed to do, serve and be quick. Then on to semifinals. And Here we wanted a full analysis of one red wine, which was Pinot Noir from Baden in Germany. And then we gave the candidates 3 other wines, and we said they were also all Pinot Noir, but from different origins. And we wanted them to identify the origins and the vintages. Then it was a very fun, because this was in black glasses. We told the candidates that these 3 beverages, we didn't say it was wine, and but they were all 3 different wines from Madeira, from 3 different of the classic grape varieties from Madeira. Very fun task, at least for us. I suppose for the candidates too. And then service task, we had service and food pairing, and also a commercial task. I don't know if one of my colleagues will explain this, as I was in the other room doing tasting, what they did in this. Veronique or... Yeah, if you would just like to say what they had to do during the service. No, semi-final.
I'm trying to remember now. Sorry, I'm so caught into the final. What did we do for yesterday? What did you do, guys? Does anybody remember? Service? Huh? Tu te rappelles? Yes, service. Thank you. That was Shinya's task. No? With the... Yes. No, that's not it. Oui, c'était by the glass. So it was a service by the glass. So we all had chosen a dish. They had the mise en place with wines by the glass. There was teas also, and a dish of the day. And they had to make recommendations for, we all chose a wine, a different wine, a white or a red, to go with a dish, which was a curry dish, a spicy dish. And somebody also wanted a tea, some cold brewed teas. So quite straightforward. Select the proper wine. They had a choice of 3 different whites, 3 different reds, and 3 different teas, and they had to select the most appropriate to go with the dish. And the food pairing. C'était quoi? Sorry, I'm so caught into today in the numbers. And qu'est-ce qu'on a fait hier pour le food pairing? Chef, thank you. So chef made a menu in the absence of the sommelier, and did the wine matches. But there were some wines that were not appropriate for the menu, so we were expecting the candidate to make some more appropriate choices of a wine match. And always with, you know, the tact and the diplomacy of respecting also chef's work, but providing a better experience for the guest by making some changes. The dishes were very concise. Some of them even had some ingredients in there that we thought were not the best and that we would have liked to see taken away. Or the candidate also had the opportunity to improve on the dish, to add to it, and to make it more precise to go with the wine they wanted to suggest.
Yes, and for the commercial task, it was a list of very fine wines. Was one vintage, very good vintage for a collector, and other vintage of the same wine, but very, I would say, bad or less good vintage. So they need to choose the best vintage, and this was quite evident, but not so. So it was a very good task.
Thank you, Paz. And now you saw the final, but we will reveal some of the beverage that you do not know what they were. You saw the bar task, it's service task. It was basically about serving the champagne and serving Bellini, but you can do this in a million different ways, depending on. And full organoleptic of a white wine. Everyone said Sauterne, so I think a big hand to the candidates. Chateau d'Yquem 2013, and I can assure you this was aged under perfect conditions because it came from my own cellar. Then you saw the food pairing, and this was perhaps a bit tricky because they wanted one dish per flight of wines, and to adapt and to check if all the wines were appropriate and how the dish would work. But that's really what we sommeliers should do, and what we enjoy to do, what these candidates seem to enjoy a lot as well. Then we had the identification of 2 wines for ageability. And the first one was Hubert Lamy, Saint-Aubin, La Princesse 2021. Cool vintage in Burgundy. Very firm, positively firm style, I would say. One candidate actually mentioned, quite generous amounts of sulfur, very flinty reductive, really deemed for a long life in a cellar. Then we had another excellent wine, but which is showing a bit more, being a bit more open today. Kistler Hyde Vineyard Chardonnay 2018. So richer vintage, a bit more evolution today. And then this last test was kind of difficult, I would believe. I have to ask the candidates again if it was. So we had cognac, we had Moscato, Calvados, we had barley wine, we had a Pinot de Charente, we had cider, Moscato d'Asti, Amontillado, Irish whiskey, and Brandy de Jerez. And the idea was to create logical pairs between these. So Pinot de Charente with cognac, Brandy de Jerez with a wine from sherry, and barley wine with beer, Moscato with Grappa di Moscato. Rather complicated, I have to confess, but very fun. And we had Michel Pouchet, who brought the Malbec to South America. Agoston Harashti, who brought a lot of particularly cuttings and grape varieties to California. Abraham Perold, who crossed Pinot Noir and Cinsault in 1925 to create a kind of a freak of a grape called Pinotage. Baron Leroy, who was really the precursor of the French appellation system when he drew up the boundaries of Châteauneuf-du-Pape and vinification rules, which was way ahead of his time. Back in those days, he said that a Châteauneuf-du-Pape needs to have minimum 12.5% of natural alcohol. It was huge back then. Today, I don't think we find a lot of wines in that area below 15. Of course, it was Louis Pasteur. He probably didn't have a happy life, but he came up with some good inventions after all. Not only yeast and fermentation, actually the sulfur. He was also the man behind the sulfur to understand what it really did for how it could prevent oxidation and other things. James Busby, who planted the first vines in Australia in the 1780s. And Marquis de Pombal, who was also very instrumental back in the days because he really drew strict borders and control of the Douro region. And to not weird wine people like us, he was actually most famous for rebuilding Lisbon after the devastating earthquake back in the late 1700s. Aeneas Coffee invented the coffee still. It looks like a skyscraper unless you know what it is. But and of course, we had the Dean of American winemakers, Andrei Chelichev. And another Brit behind the world-famous fortified wines, John Woodhouse. And now I think we should call Shineta Saki, Olivier Poussier, to the stage. I suppose we have some, the finalist and William. And I will say, we already know the semi-finalists and their position. All other candidates, your results and placements will be sent to you later. William?
I don't have the results.
No? But you want to thank sponsors? Or? Okay. Yeah. Well, we already thanked sponsors. We can't do enough of it. Thank you so much to all of the sponsors. ASI is a voluntary organization. And saying that, maybe we could get all the volunteers out here. Because the most important people... We will, the jury still needs a few more minutes, and we will, as we showed you already, some videos from the previous competitions in America and Europe, to give you a video from the last World Championship in Paris back in exactly 2 years ago.
We have been preparing for the contest for 3 years. We have been preparing for the contest for 3 years, and extremely intense 3 years, and it was just a great moment of our life.
The volunteers over here is super important because in fact they are the backbone of the full organization.
So candidates, finalists, back on stage. Now. We will do this like we usually do. We will start with third place, and then, of course, we do the winner, and then we do second place. And I leave the mic to William.
Thank you. So we're all anxious to know the results. I know them. But please give a big hand of applause one more time to the 3 finalists, please. Thank you. Thank you. So I will announce first number 3, then number 1, and then number 2. So don't forget to applaud for number 2 afterwards, okay, guys? So the number 3 in the contest for Best Sommelier of the Americas, ASI 2025, Nicolas, Reines, Colombia. So now the moment we have all been waiting for. Look at the. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. You know, I'm not the mannequin. You know, you guys are the stars, not me. So the winner, Best Sommelier of the Americas, 2025 ASI Contest, Joris Garcia, Canada. Okay. And then number 2 from the USA, Mark Guillaudeu. Yes. Come on. No. Stay here, guys. Stay here. Olivier. The winner in the middle, not me. I'm just framework.
Working? I wanna put. Actually,
We don't have any camera guys in here.
yeah, we don't need the camera.
it's not for the
No,
stream.
no. I'm just asking.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone who watched, thank you very much. This concludes the competition. We need to clear this room for the press conference, so we will ask the finalists to remain here, but we will please ask everyone else of you to go outside and mingle. You will have plenty of time for selfies with the candidates later. So thank you very much for attending, and see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, please leave the room last time, okay? We will meet here, all of us, in the welcome reception. Please leave the room. Plenty of moments for the photos, please. No, hey, Chief, no photos. We're preparing for the conference, and then will be plenty of photos. It's too late. You will have plenty moments to do the photos.